Welcome to Simply Natural Homestead. This is a short little video to show you our little portable greenhouse we came up with here. This is a plastic shelf set. It is, I believe it's 3 feet wide and 2 feet deep and about 5 feet tall maybe. And there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves. I'm only using really 3 right now. I got this at, I believe, Home Depot. They have another one just like it. This was about 51, and they had another one, maybe 60. And they had another one like it for 51, but it was only 18 inches deep. I would recommend the 2 feet deep one, and the reason why is because these little flats here work perfectly with this depth. You would not be able to fit nearly as many if you didn't have it 2 feet deep, because you'd have to turn them sideways and you just wouldn't be able to fit as many. So with this one you could fit 3 wide, and so times, if you use 4 shelves like I'm using right now, we've got, the reason why we don't use the top one is because we have the cheapest solution we had for plastic to cover it with was an old mattress protector thing that we used when we moved, and it fit just barely, and so we were able to squeeze it down over there. Has a few little holes. It's not exactly gorgeous, but it works. So because of that, we can't have any plants on top up there, but you know, we have 4 shelves underneath, and as the weather gets warmer, it's been unseasonably cold here. Cool, very cool and very wet, and these were getting drowned. In fact, I have not watered these in days, and let's take a look at the water level. I don't know if you can see it, but there's about 1/4 of an inch above the little ridges at the bottom there. So some of them aren't quite so wet. There's just little bits of water in the bottom. But that one right there is really still wet, and I had emptied these out. I was tired of emptying them out twice a day with all the rain, so I finally decided that's it. It's cold. They need some heat. Really, because these weren't growing very well. All these little plant seedlings you're seeing here, some of them, like this morning glory here, was just, it was growing a few inches, but most of the rest of these weren't here. That plant back there, which I'm thinking is, yes, bush bean, that big one, that one was not like that. It was just barely coming out a few days ago. So having, you know, the temperature the last couple days has been in the 70s, which is great, but before that it was in 60s, low 60s sometimes. It gets down in the 40s or 50s at night, so it just wasn't really warm enough to really germinate quickly. So these are finally coming up. These are pretty new. Let's see, when did I do these? The dates are the 19th, so today's the 26th, so this is 7 days, which isn't bad. These, you know, everything's been coming up pretty quickly considering the cold weather, but I really germinated most of these inside the house, and they did okay inside the house, even though we keep our heat around, you know, mid to high 60s. So, but out here, it just really, they weren't doing well. These came up also. These were probably planted, these were planted in the 60s. These really weren't going anywhere until we got the greenhouse going, so. It's probably been about, I don't know, 5 days, 4 or 5 days that we've had this greenhouse cover on. And if I can pull this down, let's see if I can pull this down a little bit just to kind of give you an idea. I had a hard time getting it up without my husband's help because it kept sliding and stuff like that. But that just gives you, I'm not going to pull the whole thing down because that was hard to get it up, but that just gives you an idea of how the bag, you know, is covering it. And you could use any kind of shelving. You might even want to use wheels if you want to wheel it in or out of your garage if you're having bad cold spells. This was what worked for us price-wise. We've got it right outside our front door, which makes it really nice for trying to water it and remember to water it. And this is where the sun hits the best. So we don't have that much of a sunny area here, so this is where the sun hits the best. I think the greenhouse is working out great. I do plan on building something bigger, you know, later, but this is all we could really afford and had time for right now. I'm going to give you a little peek at some more of my plants. I've got a little of everything. I'm so far behind getting this done. It's my first garden. It's my first year. So we've got, there's some corn. Corn is doing fabulous now. It was doing not so good before. That's corn. I don't know what's behind there. winter squash is that big leaf sticking up. This is dill, little teeny tiny baby dill. And miniature, no, mountain princess, that's what that is, tomatoes. I can show you something that was not doing well at all before. You know what, the nasturtium, I don't know if it has a really long germination time, but it's not doing well at all. And I put in, well, I only put in 2 seeds. Maybe I should have put in more. I didn't put in too many if there weren't very many in the package. And I was putting in anywhere between 3 and 6 seeds, and I was having tons of seedlings come up, so I didn't really want to put in more than I needed to. But this is goat horn hot pepper, and 6/5 was the day that I did it, and nothing was coming up. And they might just be slow to germinate. I've heard that peppers can be hard. So that little teeny tiny baby in there, I'd almost given up on it, but the greenhouse seems to have helped. So. And then we've got some watermelon right there, and bunching onions right there. A lot of these I started way too late and they might not make it, but I thought, what the heck, throw a few seeds out there. Worst things comes to worst and nothing happens. Oh, I finally have some asparagus. I think it's too late for the asparagus, and they're a 2-year crop, I think, anyway. So, but oh, that doesn't. The turnips are not doing well. I don't know if anybody knows anything about turnips, but the turnips and other similar crops, they're coming up with these little teeny tiny spindly looking seedlings, and then they get really weak and hair-like looking in the middle, and they just bend over, and they're not doing well. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know where is that leaf coming from? I don't know where that came from. But anyway, so you can kind of see how things are doing in here. They weren't going so well before. The other plants that I have on the top that you saw, the bigger ones, these were, let's get you back in here. These are all transplants over here that I bought. So these are not my gardening work. But these are somebody locally that I was selling plants. I got some celery there, you can see, and then some green peppers and some tomatoes, and then I got these from a farmer's market, these leaf. I don't know what kind of lettuce it is. It just said green leaf lettuce. And then this is my little gem, which was free seed that I'd gotten when I did my rareseeds.com order. And I would say everything's looking pretty good right now. I wish it was going better. But that's my little greenhouse. So I thought I would just introduce you to that and to give you guys some ideas. I'm not a great gardener or even an experienced gardener, but I haven't killed too much yet, so I'm doing pretty good. I hope that helps somebody. This is Simply Natural Homestead. Thanks for watching.